Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the YouTube channel and welcome back to the Classic Wrestling Series, Season 4, Episode 11. So, we are going to be watching WWE Super Showdown from 2020. Oh boy. It has been 5 years since I've actually watched this show. It could not piss me off like it did at the beginning of the when I watched it, but something tells me it's going to piss me off. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into our first matchup. It's for the Kuwait Mountain Trophy match. It's a gauntlet match. Oh boy, let's get to this one. So we just had the Kuwait Mountain Championship tournament trophy gauntlet match thing. So we just had Bobby Lashley and R-Truth starting things off. R-Truth gets the win. Very, very weird. It was a cheeky it was a roll-up win. Then he beats Andrade after they butt heads, and Truth falls on Andrade. Eric Rowan then gets disqualified from hitting R-Truth with steel steps, and then R-Truth is eliminated by AJ after being put in the calf crusher, and then, of all people, surprise, The Undertaker appears and just tombstones AJ and gets the win, 1, 2, 3. So basically, Undertaker wins the trophy. It's not that bad. Like, it's alright. Like, it's a decent matchup. It's entertaining. It's meh. Like, it was just a meh matchup. It's just one of those, like, you know, I kind of wanted to see AJ win it, but, you know, the surprise twist with Undertaker was just, it kind of felt a bit flat, to be honest with you, to be truthful with you. So, our next matchup is, I believe, Miz and Morrison taking on the New Day, if I recall from this show. So, let's get to Miz and Morrison versus the New Day. So, we just had Miz and Morrison versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and this was good, actually. This was a really entertaining matchup. It was really good. Like, Miz and Morrison are over in Saudi Arabia. They really are. One second, my hair's a bloody mess. I really need to... I'll get a hat for the next segment. So, yeah, Miz and Morrison are over in Saudi Arabia. This is a fun matchup. Like, Miz and Morrison are good. New Day are, you know, they're the former seven-time tag team champions at this point. So, they are good. This just really worked. It was a fun matchup. Miz and Morrison win. Morrison does use the steel chair on Kofi to get the win, but Miz rolls up, 1, 2, 3, new champs. It's always, you know, it's good. The right team won this, I thought. You know, the right team won it at the time, and now looking back on it 5 years later, yeah, it does. You know, Miz and Morrison winning the belts, yeah. I think were really good because they were over in Saudi. You did hear the hey hey ho ho Miz and Morrison chants and stuff like that. So yeah, it worked. I think they held the belts until just before WrestleMania, I think. So they did have like a good 5-6 week reign or something like that. A little bit short, but it was still entertaining. It was a fun matchup. So with that all being said, we'll get to our next matchup right now. So we just had Angel Garza taking on Humberto Carrillo. Neither man got a pop when they came out, which was weird because it wasn't... the match was good. Like, again, this was a really good matchup. It was entertaining. It's just what's going to happen in the two main title matches, I think, is really what's pissing people off, if I recall. But again, this match, you know, that match was really good. It was a fun little matchup. Angel Garza gets the win with a roll-up. So yeah, it was all good and fun. So we now have got Seth Rollins and Murphy taking on the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles. Let's get to this one. So we just had Seth Rollins and Murphy versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles. This was another good matchup. It's entertaining. Like, the Street Profits are good. Seth Rollins and Murphy are good too. This was really entertaining. This was really fucking good. And the show so far has been going quite well. So getting back to the Raw Tag Team title match, you know, Seth and Murphy retained the belts. They would lose the belts just before, I think it was an Elimination Chamber, if I recall. they lost the belts. So this is just a really good way to basically put the Street Profits on the map. So like, they wouldn't win the belts here, but it was a way to show that they were actually like, they were the real deal. And they still are the real deal now that they are, as of now, recording, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions over on SmackDown. So yeah, it's a really good, you know, again, really fun matchup, entertaining. Seth Rollins and Murphy get the win. It's all good. So, now we're going to go into Dolph Ziggler versus Mansoor. So, we just had Dolph Ziggler versus Mansoor, and again, actually not bad match. Like, Mansoor is actually quite good. He's now in Ring of Honor with, as MEM Collective or whatever they're called. So yeah, Mansoor is really, like, Mansoor is good. He was only really, around this time, he would be in the Saudi Arabian shows, because he is from Saudi Arabia. So, you know, popping all that, it's all good. So yeah, this was a fun matchup. Dolph Ziggler can have a match with a broom and be a 3-star match. Like, Dolph is, like, this generation's fucking Shawn Michaels, to be honest with you. Like, you can have a good match with anybody, to be honest, and it'd be really good. So, our next matchup, Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet. Let's get to this one. Me Brock Lesnar. Me grab small Ricochet. Me hit F5. Me pin 1, 2, 3. That's basically what happened in this match. It was like a minute 35. It killed Ricochet. Like, it killed Ricochet's push in WWE. This was the biggest fucking mistake, or one of the bigger mistakes that Vince decided to do with Brock. It's obvious that Brock doesn't care and didn't care. He just wanted to get into Saudi Arabia, win the match, and then fuck off. It's one of those things, and it just pisses me off. Ricochet deserved better in the company, in WWE. He definitely did. He is a good wrestler. Do not get me wrong. He is a good wrestler. In AEW, he's an absolute fucking tosspot. I'm sorry, but that's a fact. But he did deserve more than what he got at Super Showdown. This was, it was more. It was like 3 suplexes, the F5, and that's it. In like 95 seconds. He deserved more than this bullshit. And it's disgusting that Brock just wanted to do this. Brock just wanted to quit match, get in, get out, payday, ban. I really wanted Ricochet to actually at least be competent against Brock. Not this. This was just a joke. It goes back to... what is it? It goes back to Kofi on the SmackDown premiere, where he wins the belt in like 65 seconds or something stupid like that, and Kofi never got a rematch for the belt. Absolute complete bollocks. And it's basically just this again. It is absolutely fucking stupid that Brock just does this. Really, really is a joke. So, next matchup is going to be Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin for in a steel cage match, I think. I think it's a steel cage. Let's see. Kim Corbin. There we go. I had to think them for a second because, my God, this was a little bit boring. I'm not gonna lie. The steel cage match was boring. It was just, we've seen this match so many times before at this point that the steel cage didn't really do anything to hype and the crowd up. Like, Roman wins and they did get excited for that, but at this point it was like, like I was just a bit meh by it. So with that all being said, we now got Bayley versus Naomi in the semi-main event, so let's get to this one. So, Bayley versus Naomi. Interesting. I like this. I thought this was a really good matchup. They turned around and said that Bayley's never beaten Naomi one-on-one in singles matches, and I thought that was a really good little tidbit, because it's true. Bayley has never beaten Naomi one-on-one. So, it kind of felt like a little bit of a foregone conclusion, but also... But Bayley and Naomi, you don't really know which one was going to win. I generally thought it was going to be Naomi for a little bit. And I did think about it 5 years ago as well, when this was on. And yeah, it was a good good matchup. It was entertaining. It was a really fun little semi-main event. But now we have the main event, and let's just get to it. 5 years later, and this decision still pisses me the fuck off. Goldberg versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt. Goldberg hits the spear. 1, 2, 3. Goldberg is the new champion in Saudi Arabia. This decision was fucking stupid. This is the worst decision on this card. Even worse than the Ricochet match. Why would you have Goldberg defeat The Fiend going into WrestleMania? Makes no fucking sense. It was just to build up Brock versus Lesnar, Brock versus Goldberg at WrestleMania. That's it. That's all it was. It was a waste of fucking time, a waste of fucking energy, and Fiend should have been the champion going into Mania, not Goldberg. It was a stupid decision then, it was a stupid decision now, and this is one of the worst things that Vince did on this card, in my opinion. I think, honestly, it could have been different. Again, having Goldberg maybe lose the match to make it look like he's, you know, The Fiend is actually this terrifying threat, because it was I think it was Randy who took on The Fiend at Mania. And even then, that was bad. Like, The Fiend losing to Randy Orton at Mania was bad. Like, it wasn't worse than this decision, but it was a fucking bad decision. I think I'm getting my Manias mixed up now, actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I am actually getting my Manias mixed up because it was Edge versus Orton at Mania. So, yeah, I'm getting my Manias mixed up. I'm getting my COVID era Manias mixed up. Sorry. Bad decision all round. Absolutely fucking stupid. Did not deserve to be on this fucking card. Goldberg should never have won the match. End of story. The rest of the card itself is actually not bad. The matches on this card are not exactly bad. Miz and Morrison versus New Day is a fun little tag team title match. Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo is actually really good, like, if you ignore the crowd. You know, the Raw tag team title match was decent. Mansoor, Dolph Ziggler was good. Hell, even Bayley versus Naomi was decent. But it gets let down by Brock and Ricochet, Goldberg and Fiend, and in a way, Reigns versus Corbin, it lets it down. It just lets it down really badly, because you expect one thing and you just think, well, this is going to be a quick match. And, you know, the Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet match was 95 seconds. Goldberg Fiend was 3 minutes. And that's including fucking entrances. Like, it's a joke. It was absolutely a stupid fucking decision on Vince's part at that time. And it still is a stupid decision now. So, at the end of the day, do I think this show is good? I'd say the first, probably, between match 3 and 6 are good, and the semi-main are good too. The rest of it is miss. Like, it's a miss on my part, and that's not good. 50% of the matches being okay and decent, and the other 50 being meh. Not good when it's in Saudi Arabia. Like, this is a big deal, and around this time it was kind of tanking, let's be honest. But that's my review of Super Showdown 2020. Thank God I don't have to talk about this show on the CWS because it's already been done. So, next week we will have something. I don't know what we're going to have next week for the CWS. The next episode of the Resident Evil 8 video will be up tomorrow. And we may have a bit of a bonus episode coming up on Saturday morning as well, maybe. Ooh, bit of a teaser for you, maybe. So, with that being said, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next week. I will see you next week with the CWS. TTFN. Ta-ta. For now.